with drugs, with guns.
Aaron was absolutely operating on the edge.
These are some new shows that will be hitting the shelves everywhere on Netflix.com. A very popular streaming platform, it offers many awesome TV shows and series that have been very popular. Guys, welcome back, however, to the Film Mania. I'm your host, as always, JT. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy these type of videos. Let us know also in the comment section down below what videos you'd like to see us do moving forward. And also, lastly, before we get into the video, we gotta ask you guys to turn our post bell notification on. We do post every week, so make sure to have it on so you don't miss an upload. Now let's get right into today's video. First up, we actually have Killer Inside the Mind of Aaron Hernandez. This has already been released. However, if you haven't seen it, you're missing out on a ton of interesting stuff. Whether or not you're into sports, Netflix's documentary miniseries, Killer Inside the Mind of Aaron Hernandez, is a haunting portrait of the NFL star who became a convicted murderer. The documentary visits the 2015 murder of Odin Lloyd, for which Hernandez was found guilty, as well as his trial in 2012 double homicide of Daniel de Abreu and Safiro Furtado, for which he was acquitted for. But beyond his crimes, the documentary paints a dark picture of the man himself with new audio recordings of Hernandez's phone calls from prisons to his lawyers, mother, and his young daughter. The docu-series also illuminates the extreme dangers of football to the brain and shines a light on which is meant to be a closeted gay man in the NFL. This is definitely a must-watch, and me personally, I don't believe some of the stuff in the actual TV show. I'm not going to ruin anything for those of you guys who have not seen it, but if I could give it a rating out of 10 stars, it would easily be a 12 in my books. Sex Education. Sex Education brings all of the same endearing characters and retro vibes to this season 2 extravaganza, while also highlighting the very real issues associated with the show's namesake. While season 1 entertained us with many honest and uncomfortable stories of a budding teen's sexuality, this season actually got even more real and made it even more of a statement by addressing some things like female pleasure, consent, and also asexuality, anal sex, as well as those other things in between the lines. It's somehow hilarious and touching at the same time, powerful all at the same time as well, making it an absolute watch for this 2020 year. Guys, it's already March. If you haven't checked out some of these ones we're going over, just go ahead after this video. Make sure to watch the full video though and check them out. Stranger. The Stranger is a thriller, kind of like a thriller murder movie scene. The Stranger is an engaging, albeit overly complicated mystery with many spooky storylines to follow. Based on Harlan Cohen's novel of the same name, The Stranger mostly follows yep, you guessed it, a stranger. Sometimes she blackmails people for money, sometimes she blackmails people for information, who knows. But what she'll do is she'll help reveal the truths and expose evil people out there in the world. It's kind of like, I guess, a Black Mirror episode, if you want to say, but you're actually seeing the person who's doing it, instead of just the actual people at the end of the show who are doing it, or in this case, the person whose identity is being held strong. However, The Stranger definitely won't bore you, and it's a must-watch if you have not checked it out. The Pharmacist. Somehow, The Pharmacist manages to be about 3 different series into one compacted film. It starts out as a murder mystery documentary about the shooting of a 20-something white man attempting to buy crack cocaine, but Netflix's limited docuseries wraps up the mystery around that murder by the end of episode 2. From there, the series dives into how one pharmacist in New Orleans managed to blow the opioid crisis, crippling his community wide open. A stirring portrait of the drug issues in our country right now, The Pharmacist is a rare limited series that manages to reinvent itself twice over by the time its 6 episodes wrap up. I've seen this, and personally, I enjoyed it a ton. I thought it was really interesting, and I thought the story behind the story ultimately really paid dividends into exposing the opioid crisis, because back in the day, that thing was terribly, terribly bad, and one dude ended up actually blowing it wide open for his community. A must-watch in my opinion. The Circle. On paper, it seems like a really, really terrible idea. A reality TV show centered on a group of seemingly loud, very online humans brought into an apartment complex, kept in isolation, and only allowed to communicate through a social media network called, you guessed it, The Circle. The trick is, you can also catfish your fellow competitors, adding an additional layer to the game. What started as a series as akin to an MTV reality show revamp turns into a thoughtful competition series that highlights how good we can actually be to one another online. Judge the premise all you want, but if the proof of the adorable friendship between a bro with slick back hair and an awkward nerd isn't enough for you, then your cold heart really is the problem here. You see some weird, unfortunate, odd, I guess friendships, I guess you could call it in the show, and you wouldn't expect these people to be talking to one another, really. Lastly, we have Cheer. No one has really ever wanted to be on the mat more than they do after watching Cheer. Following the insanity behind competitive cheerleading, this series reveals how grueling and extreme the sport of cheerleading can be. For a select group of athletes, Navarro represents the pinnacle of their craft, and they only have a limited amount of time to reach excellence before competition. As insightful as it is compelling, Cheer is one of Netflix's most alluring offerings this year. You'll never question the power of cheerleading again after watching this, and me personally, I cannot wait to start this series. Even though I haven't, I've heard really good things about it, and I've known that cheerleading, even though it's laughed at and not a respected sport, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. Well, that about wraps up today's video, guys. Let us know down below what Netflix series you guys are going to be watching immediately. If you guys want to see more videos just like this one, make sure to check out the last video we put up. It's a banger. However, if you want to see more videos and never want to miss an upload, make sure to subscribe. Until next time, guys, I will see you guys later.